My hair looks a little ratty, but it's okay. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about my reading stuff. Basically, I made a list of the books I want to read next up, like next 5 to 10 books I want to read, because I just like to organize things in general, but I like to organize a little bit more than just books I want to read at some point, but I like to organize the ones I'm excited to read next. So I'm just gonna touch up a little bit on those ones and why I picked them. The Picture of Dorian Gray, because first of all, I feel like it's good to read classics. Also, the subject matter seemed pretty interesting to me. It talked about beauty and intelligence and some concepts that honestly feel very relatable in society, and just, this sounds like a book report. It just sounded interesting, and I feel like for me it could be of use or just interesting for me to read someone's writing on that kind of stuff, and like it jived well with me and what I might think about it. I put that one on there. I want to read Arabian Nights, which, if you don't know, it's another classic and it's over 1,000 pages, so it's one of those really long books. I feel like that'll take a while for me to get through. For some reason, for me with reading, although I like it, I feel like part of it is I like the feeling of accomplishment when I finished a book. So sometimes I'm hesitant to start a book that's maybe a little longer because I'm not gonna get that feeling of accomplishment for a while, and that's really like when you're just about enjoying the reading and not finishing a book necessarily. It just seemed like interesting stories because it's a bunch of different stories in one, I'm pretty sure. So I just thought that could be interesting. And then one of the other books I was excited about reading is called Hard Boiled / Hard Luck. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I sparked some interest in it because I saw a Pinterest pin that looked really cute and appealing to me. It was like a photo of someone reading it, or like it on a bed with like a pretty layout and a pretty sheet, and I was like, okay, that looks good. But then I actually read the description and I actually don't remember what it was about right now, but it did look interesting, so I was like, okay, that's on my next up list now. I won't mention all of them because there was kind of a lot. Also, I want to read Perfect Blue. I've seen the movie. That's a really good movie. I love that movie. Because I like the movie and the book just had a nice appeal to me, I was like, I want to read the book too. And also I heard the book was a little bit different than the movie, which is nice because sometimes it's like, yeah, I like the movie, so I might want to read the book, but if the book is so similar to the movie, I just feel like, what's the point? I could read something else that I don't even know anything about the story at all. The next book was called Hollow Heart, I believe. I forget where I heard about this, but the subject matter just seemed pretty interesting to me. It was a woman, mental health, like a lot of books are like that. It just looked good, kind of like the bell jar-ish, but I didn't really like the bell jar. It just seemed like I could like the content of it. It's this woman who mourns her dead body after she unalives herself. That just sounded interesting to me because it seemed very metaphorical, the way she goes back on her old dead body and just mourns her life. This is getting really depressing, but it just seemed like an interesting book, and sometimes I like those sad books that are kind of more introspective, so I also did that one as well. This isn't really relevant to anything, but I just wanted to mention one other thing because, let me just show you something. Now, I prefer Ricola. That's my favorite. I like the honey lemon one better than just the basic lemon mint herbal one. I like those less. I like the honey lemon one a lot more. I prefer Ricola, but just in general, cough drops are kind of like a really underrated snack, even when you're not sick. Especially when you're not sick, when you don't even have a sore throat, but just like a nice little honey lemon burst to suck on. I just love to eat cough drops even when I'm not sick. So here's a little snack recommendation. I love these. These are the ones I have right now. They're fine, but I prefer the Ricola ones. While I'm on the topic of food, well, cough drops kind of food, but you know what I mean. Not exactly, but if you like matcha lattes and you don't drink dairy, I do, but sometimes I don't always, every second. Macadamia nut milk is really underrated. I like the Milkadamia brand of it. They have a really good macadamia nut milk for a matcha latte. It's good, so I recommend. Yesterday I had like a snow day, but it was actually a remote day. And I feel like with Zoom was just like, it's so funny to me. It's just like a collective thing that no one turns their camera or their audio on. They're just on mute with no camera, and it's just the teacher there with their audio and camera on. Everyone else's video and cameras off. I just feel like, I thought it was like a collective thing that, you know, we don't do that because like we're not necessarily prepared for it, and then the teacher's like, turn on your video please, but it's like, what? No, like I look busted. Like I didn't know that we were gonna do this. I thought this is all collective, and then people turned it on and they're all put together and they have makeup on and shit like that, and I'm like, what? I thought we just all collectively agreed to like be busted and not do it at all. I thought we were really remoting, you know? Like actually remoting. Also, why is it so embarrassing to join a Zoom? Like say it's on your phone or something like that, and it says, oh, Edie's iPhone has joined the Zoom, or Edie's iPad. It's so embarrassing. Like it's just such an ick. I feel like it's an ick to myself. I just feel like Edie's iPhone has joined, or Edie's iPad. It's such an ick to myself. Like I get the ick for myself, like Edie's iPad has joined. If it just said Edie, that's fine. Like if it just says my name, but the fact that it says my name, comma, S, and then the electronic device I'm using, like Edie's iPad or Edie's iPhone, is just so embarrassing. I'm giving myself the ick. Also, does anyone else feel like they're just like so independent for their own good? It's like I can't feel satisfied with anything if I feel like something important to me, I had to rely on anyone else in any way for it to happen, you know? Anyway, but also like I feel like I'm so aesthetically driven. I will like things if I like the aesthetic of them. That's a driving force for so many of my choices. Like if I'm gonna read a book, I mean obviously I want to like the book, but a big part of it is honestly if the cover is aesthetically pleasing to me, I'm like, that's more likely I'm gonna read it. And it doesn't mean I also might not dislike it if it's bad, even if it has an aesthetic cover, but I'm just like, it's such a driving force for so many of my decisions, and it just seems really important to me, I guess. You know how some people really love sunbathing and it's like good for you because of the vitamin D and stuff, but I like to moonbathe. I feel like it also has benefits for you. It's also good for you, okay? I don't know them exactly, but I know there are, and I'll write them down because no one's gonna trust me if they don't have my sources. And I do like sunbathing, but sometimes I feel like I know the sunbathing is supposed to make you feel less anxious if you are because of the vitamin D and stuff like that, but sometimes I feel like when it's darker, I just feel more soothed sometimes, but I just feel so aesthetically pleased with myself when I moonbathe because I just feel like, oh, it's so good for me, and it's a nice idea, nice sentiment.